Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to the fourth day FDP of Outcome-Based Education and Online Teaching. Kindly adhere to the same instructions of, muting your microphone throughout the session and recording your attendance in the attendance link, which will be shared in the chat screen. So let's begin the program. I now invite Dr. J. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, to deliver the welcome address.
A very good afternoon to all. So it's with great pleasure that we have successfully entered our fourth day FTP program, and I have the honor to give a warm welcome to all. First, I would like to welcome our resource person, Dr. Binu Thomas, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Marian College. We welcome you, sir. I also thank him for accepting our invitation for giving inputs on new ICT-enabled tools on online teaching. I will also welcome our principal, Dr. Raja Samuel sir, Professor Injodi, former Director, Rajagiri College, and our Dean, Dr. Subhashini ma'am, and all the participants of the program. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Now I welcome Dr. Evangeline ma'am to introduce the guest to this great participant. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my proud privilege to introduce our resource person, Dr. Binu Thomas, to you. Who will be handling today's session, new ICT-enabled tools for online teaching. So we welcome you, sir. Dr. Binu Thomas is the Associate Professor, Department of Computer Application, Marian College, Kuttikannam, Kerala. He is also the Coordinator of Internal Quality Assurance Cell IQSC, Joint Director, Marian Institute for Innovative Teaching, Learning and Evaluation. Sir's education qualification includes a PhD in Computer Science and an MCA. His experience in other academic institutions, he served Royal University Bhutan under Technical Cooperation Scheme of SAT. He has attended more than 15 international and national seminars. Also, he has chaired sessions and presented more than 15 number of papers. To his credit, he has got more than 15 articles, monographs published in referred journals with high number of citations. He is specialized in fuzzy clustering, and one of his recent articles is a novel fuzzy-based assessment method for learning outcomes. His other major minor research projects include, he was part of innovative augmented reality-based learning project, AR Learn, headed by Hong Kong Baptist University. He also associated with web-based learning project U Reply, headed by Chinese University, Hong Kong. UGC funded project on impact of social media in higher education. His other administrative experiences include, he was a chairman, Board of Studies and Management, Marian College, Kuttikannam. He was a coordinator of Internal Quality Assurance Cell IPSC, Marian College. He was the recipient of Colombo Planned Foreign Deputation Scheme of Ministry of Economic Affairs, Government of India. Joint Director, Marian Institute for Teaching, Learning and Evaluation. He was the head of ICT Committee, Marian College. He was the conference chair and editor, Marian College. He was head of the Department of Computer Applications. So the session is over to you, sir. Thank
you. Thank you, ma'am. Warm good afternoon to all the participants and the organizers. So it is a pleasure to associate with a college far distant from Kerala, even at the time of lockdown, and we are able to organize a faculty development program. So let me congratulate the organizers for organizing activities, especially at the time of lockdown, so that we can utilize this opportunity, extra time for learning new things. So we are very happy to associate with you. And also, since it being an afternoon and having a session, I thought we will make this session more interactive, so that you will also get an experience in how you can make online sessions interactive, because most of the teachers, whether it is in Kerala or in Tamil Nadu, we are all facing a problem that we are finding it difficult to engage our students. And I don't know the situation in Tamil Nadu, but in Kerala, we used to say In our college and all, we start our sessions at 8:30. So the students, they used to keep an alarm for 8:30, and they just get up by 8:30, log into Google Meet, and they continue their sleep. And the teachers will be lecturing using Google Meet or Zoom. So that is what it is becoming a common practice. So how to make our students more engaging, how we can ensure their involvement in our classes. So I will try to give you some experience in doing that, and also you can learn some of these tools, so that and also being an afternoon, if I simply lecture about various tools and various aspects of ICT enabled teaching learning, you may not be able to follow, and you may also feel sleepy. So that I will try to make it more, as far as possible, I'll try to make it more involved. Okay, let me go to my presentation. So I am from this college, Marian College, Kuttikanam, autonomous. This is situated in a hill station in Kerala, just like Ooty or Kodaikanal. We have Idukki, which is a hill station. We have very pleasant climate here, and it is, if time permits, please do visit our campus. And we used to have associations with the Stella Maris College and Loyola College. We used to visit, and sometimes we come to Madurai also. So we can think of having some association with for the institutions. So I serve as the IQAC coordinator, and also am serving as the associate professor in the Department of Computer Applications. And just to remind you about the importance of adopting new technologies, I'm just reminding you about some of the technological evolutions we experienced in our life, just 100 years. So a telephone, a communication device 100 years old, and ultra modern smartphone. And I could say all the technologies we might have experienced in our life, radio, tape recorders, VCRs, movie players, all are messengers, telephone, all are now converging into a small device called smartphone. And now this is the most sought after educational tool also. Then in home entertainment, we have seen drastic changes happening in automobile industry. We are witnessing over this 100 years. But in education, if we are not considering COVID, so COVID, in one way, I could say it was, especially in education sector, it was a blessing in disguise. We need to say like that. Otherwise, this is an illustration supposed to be 2000 years old. So there also the classroom was almost like the present day classroom we had before COVID, and the teacher may be coming to the lecture stand, and he may be lecturing. And after 100 years before also it was like this, and just before COVID also it was like this. And we teachers, we were hesitant, we reluctant to change. But it was not like that in the other parts of the world, because when I was introduced, you might have noticed that we are associating with the Hong Kong Baptist University and Chinese University of Hong Kong. And they are much ahead of us, because they are conducting a lot of research in teaching learning. Because now we all have a feeling that our children are addicted to mobile, and if something is offered through mobile technology, it is more acceptable to the children. And even some instructions are given by using technology, they are even ready to do very mysterious things. The games like Blue Whale and are examples of that. So they are conducting research whether these kind of enthusiasm, fun can be integrated into teaching learning process. And they have come up with very novel, innovative tools where the teaching learning process becomes really engaging, interesting for the students. If time permits, I will be giving you an experience in one of the such tools called uReply, which is from Chinese University of Hong Kong. So if time permits, I will introduce that, and you can also participate in some of the activities. Then, and other side is, we are also teaching a special category of students called Millennium Generation, and they are techno-savvy, they are information-hungry students, and they are visual learners. So we must be able to cater to the needs of these kind of students. So now, because of COVID, anyway, we are moving towards ICT-enabled teaching learning process. But here also we have a problem. Like before, when NAC accreditation comes, if we ask whether the teachers are using ICT-enabled teaching learning tools, all will be saying yes. But the kind of ICT-enabled teaching learning tool they may be using was just PowerPoint and LCD projector. And we all claim that we are using ICT-enabled teaching learning. Just like after COVID also, when we have a teaching, when we have to migrate to online teaching, all what we do is we are just transferring, or we just migrated from conventional lecture to an online video lecturing, where just by opening Google Meet or Zoom, we start lecturing, and whether we are getting any feedback or not from the other end, we continue our lecturing till 1 hour or 45 minutes. That is what we most of the teachers we do now. And but this COVID, we could say it brought a lot of changes in teaching learning process. And this was the situation. This I received in WhatsApp. In 2019, mobile phones were not permitted. And from 2020 onwards, only mobile phones are permitted and students are not permitted in classrooms. Then if you have a QR code scanner and another device, just I gave a hint like that. If you have one more device, you can participate. Otherwise also, I will share the link in the chat window. So if you have a QR code scanner, please get it ready. Then when we go for online teaching learning process, these are certain tips which the teachers can follow. Pre-recorded videos are better than our lengthy lecturing videos, because in Chennai and all the situation may be much better, but in our place, especially in remote places of India, the students are really having network issues. So if you have continuous lectures, the students may not be having sufficient bandwidth and network connectivity for attending. But if you have a short recorded videos, which can be downloaded, and you can supplement them with sufficient materials, reading materials, the students prefer that. And if you can use some learning management systems like Moodle, you can create a virtual class where you can manage your students as if you are managing your students in the classroom. So we can have their attendance, we can give them assignments, and we can manage the students, and they can also communicate each other. Then, if possible, it is better to record videos only up to 10 minutes. We may be lecturing for 40 minutes, or we may be having a video for 30-40 minutes. But these students, they have very short attention span. And if your video exceeds 15 minutes, I can guarantee that they may not be watching this. So if we can confine your videos to 10-15 minutes, and if we can supplement your lessons with other materials, teaching learning materials, activities, so, then other engaging activities, interactions, online chatting with students, then you will be able to give them as a sufficient, really interesting, engaging learning environment for the students. Then you can use the forums in your learning management systems. Then if you happen to ask them to submit assignments, please don't delay the assignments, because if they are physically coming to our classes, they are with us. We used to interact with them. But now we are not interacting, we are not seeing. And if we delay our assignments, if we delay our feedback to students, then they may also demotivated. So these are few tips I would like to give you. And with this, we can have a first interactive session. The tool which I use is Mentimeter. I will also introduce this tool, and if you happen to, this is a very simple tool, and if you know this, please cooperate other, and some of you may be hearing about this tool for the first time. This is a very simple tool, but it's a very, even though it is simple, it is really powerful tool for having online interactions. Then before I go for that online interaction, just I'm not saying anything, just I would like to remind you about some old veterans. So this Bajaj Chetak scooter, a Premier Padmini car, and a trolley bag. So you can just perceive something. You can just have an inference about all these pictures. And with this, I will go for an interactive session. So if you have a QR code scanner, you please scan this. Otherwise, you open a browser, there you type www.menti.com, and there you enter the code 38675123. So I will also share this link in the chat window, so that simply by clicking there, you can go there. So just click on this link. So I'll stop this sharing. I'll go for hope you can see. Hope you can see the screen now. If you can take that link from the Zoom meeting. So if you want to participate, if you are not following the link, you please go to menti.com, and you may be asked for a code 38675123. You go to the code, you go to the site menti.com and use the code 38675123. Then I just showed you some of the pictures, and you can give me why because I am talking about ICT, the importance of ICT integration in teaching learning. So I have got around 19, 20 response. So transportation, most of you feel that I am talking about transportation. That is why most of the participants have responded as transportation. That is why it is big. And all this gold is also coming. So these two are in the center. It means most of you feel that I am just trying to communicate about transportation. That is why it is coming bigger. And this Mentimeter is a tool which you can use like this, so that you can give an interactive session with your students. And this can even be used in physical meetings also. Suppose I want to ask you this, and if I want to consolidate, I may have to write it on board, and I will have to find out how many are responded like transportation, how many old technology, how many. Now the most the response given by most of the participants is coming in the center in bigger fonts. Okay. So let it be transportation or anything. I will come to that. Come back to that. So teaching and learning, travel in 90s, nostalgia, old is gold. That is the response given by the participants. Let it be anything. I will be coming back to that when I continue with my slides. Then now your screen might have changed, and now I'm just I would like to get your feedback. Which tools you want to discuss today? Whether you want to discuss about Google tools, Mentimeter, Kahoot, or Moodle, or Padlet. So which tool you want me to introduce? So you can just give me.
I will start with Google tools, sir. We'll see if time permits, we'll go to the next one.
So you can see how the responses are coming. Hope you are watching the screen. So if you are still not able to participate, you please follow the link I have provided in that Zoom chat window, or you just go to menti.co and use the code 38675123. Okay, so we got around 51 responses. I'm just going to wind up this. If you want to participate, please do it in 1 or 2 seconds. We will wait for another 5 seconds. Okay, then 33 of you want Google tools to be introduced. Then Moodle around 21, Mentimeter 20, Padlet another 12, Kahoot another 8. So since I am in a Mentimeter, just I will introduce Mentimeter and then we can go to Google tools. Okay. So hope you are still I am sharing. Okay, 57 responses we got. Then this is a very powerful tool, and if you want to use this, please remember this as a presenter. If you are taking notes, you please note down this. As a presenter, you need to go to mentimeter.co. As a presenter, you need to go to mentimeter.co, and as a participant, you will be going to menti.co, and there will be a code as just you have entered. That code will be connecting between the presenter and the participants. So presenter will be presenting, and on that presentation there will be a code, and you can ask your participants to go to menti.co, and there they can respond. So this is mentimeter.co. So I have just opened mentimeter.co, and here since I am using it very frequently, I will be seeing my presentations here. But if you open mentimeter.com for the first time, this will be asking you to log in. And for login, if you have a Gmail account, by using your Gmail account, you will be able to log into Mentimeter. So just your login, Google credentials will be enough for logging into mentimeter.com so that you can just give your Google Gmail user ID and password, and you will be able to log into Mentimeter. And once you log into this, you will be entering into a screen. So just by using your Google account, you can log in. And once you log into this, you may not be seeing all these presentations here, because these are the presentations which usually I create for sessions like this. So this new presentation, you click on new presentation. So madam, could you disable that annotations? Somebody is annotating.
Yes, sir. Rajendran, sir.
So I just try. I don't know how to do it.
Or shall I do it from here?
Sir, Rajendran, sir, is it able to do it? If not, we will ask, sir.
Okay, then you can go for new presentation. There you give a name. So I create a presentation. So I'll clear all annotations.
Okay, sir.
So we just go for a new slide, and there we can decide the type of slides we want to create. So the one which I used first time, it was word cloud. So if I want to ask a question, what is the biggest challenge? So you can just type here the question you want to ask. So you can say, what is the biggest challenge in using? So that question appears because it was typed by me previously. So what is the biggest question challenge in using ICT in teaching learning? So my first slide is ready. Here you can decide how many responses can be collected from our participants. Then I can add one more slide like this. So this I can decide what is the, I can decide on the type. So I have selected multiple choice. So I can type my question here. Which ICT tool you use? So I can say, type here Meet, Zoom, Moodle, Google Class. So like this, I can create my slides. Then after this, I can present here. So now if you want to participate in this, this is the new code. This code will connect between the presenter and the participant. And if you want to participate in this, you can once again go to menti.com, and the code is 36281362. So this is how the participants can participate. Or from here, but after creating this, we have an option called share. So you just go for share, and there you can get the code, you can get the link here. You can just copy this, or you can download the QR code. And if once you take the link, this can be shared with your Google Meet or your Zoom chat box, just like what we. Okay, so you can see some of you are responding now. So if you want to participate, you can go for menti.com and use the code 3628 36281363. Or if I'm asking you now, those who are responding, your screen might have changed. What is the biggest challenge in using ICT in teaching? So if you type, it will be appearing here. So what is the biggest challenge in using ICT? Network is a challenge. ICT tools, technical knowledge is another problem. The students playing game may be another problem, lack of knowledge. So this is how we use Mentimeter. Okay. So
Sir, sorry for the interruption, sir. Some of
okay.
them are finding difficult to view the picture on mobile. So can you just tell them how to do it in the mobile? They are asking the chat.
Some of them are finding
not
it
able to
difficult.
not able to view the pictures, sir. The mobile on the mobile.
Okay. So pictures means just slides.
Jaswin, sir, you can ask directly what is the problem you are having. Picture or
No, ma'am, I've switched on to this one
okay,
on the
yes.
laptop itself.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, yes, yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
then so we will have a short break for 5 minutes. You can just try this. You can just access the site mentimeter.com. So I'll type it here, mentimeter.com. www.mentimeter.com. So you just access the site and see how are you able to do this. So at least you will be having one outcome. It is an outcome based. The seminar is outcome based education and ICT enabled teaching learning. So at least we will have this session. You will have one outcome. You will be able to use Mentimeter in your sessions. So you just try Mentimeter for another 5 minutes, and if you have some problem, you please let me know. So please don't respond to this menti.com. I am just asking you to create one presentation in mentimeter.com. The link I have shared in Zoom discussion window. Mentimeter. Menti.com is for the participant. Mentimeter is for the presenter.
So through Gmail, it is not, it is coming always incorrect email or password. We have used the Gmail account, but then it is not coming correctly.
You are not able to log in.
Yeah, I'm repeatedly doing it again. Even our MSSW ID is linked with Google, but then we used that. That also didn't work, but I've used another Gmail account, which is also not able to open.
The new password you're supposed to give.
Yes, yes.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not the regular
After
password.
oh, okay.
Yeah, this there, once you log in, I have just logged out of this. So I'll share the screen.
Okay, sir.
So I just logged out of mentimeter.com. Now it is just like your screen. You may be seeing a screen like this. All of you may be seeing a screen like this when you try to do this for the first time. So I just go for login. Then it is not through this email address and a password. You just go for this login with Google. When I go for login with Google, I can select a Google account. Now I have logged into the system by using my Google account. Hope it is clear.
It's working. It is working, sir. It is working.
It's working.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
Google account. We have to log in the Google, not in Gmail account.
Log in with the Google. You use the option log in with Google. Okay, then shall I go back to my slides?
Yes, sir. Many of them are done.
Then I will come to my answer, including those photos in the presentation, especially in a session where we have where we are discussing about ICT integration in teaching learning. So this is just interview. This appeared in Indian Express. So you can just read. This trolley bags were the game changers for maybe millions of people working with Indian Railway, the porters. Previously, maybe around 20-25 years back, we might have seen these kind of situations in railway stations, porters carrying big suitcases. But when it came to trolley bags, we were all comfortably able to carry, or we were able to transport even big bags with the help of trolleys. And it affected the livelihood of millions of people, millions of porters in Indian, especially those who are working with the Indian Railways. I hope you can read an interview with such a porter, and this appeared in the Indian Express. So I just wanted to remind you about the need to change. All the pictures I have shown you, the Bajaj Chetak scooter, and there was a time when the booking for Chetak scooter was accepted only in foreign currencies. Even though it was produced in India, the booking was accepted only in foreign currencies. That was their glory. And Premier Padmini, some of you might be knowing, suppose if you want to gift a Premier Padmini to your daughter at the time of her marriage, you had to book a Premier Padmini at the time of her first birthday. That was the waiting period for Premier Padmini, maybe around 30-40 years back. That was the situation. And all these companies, they were not ready to change. Then they were not able to survive. And teachers, dear teachers, this is our last bus. Especially with this COVID-19, lot of changes are happening in teaching learning industry. And if you are not ready to change, if you are not ready to learn new things, new technologies, new way of teaching learning process, new pedagogy, then we may be newer and newer technologies and newer and newer people may be replacing us, and after some time we may be finding us nowhere. So that challenge is with us, and I was just trying to remind you about that. Then when I come out of this presentation, once again I will be coming out of this presentation, I will be introducing Moodle, then the tools available in Moodle for online engagement, and also how to create, because some of this QR codes you may be scanning the links by using QR codes. And if you can keep QR codes in your presentations like this, you can ask your students to scan the presentations by using their QR code scanners, so that easily we can send them or we can transfer the links. So I'll show you how you can create QR codes. And also I'll introduce another tool, Padlet, which can be very well used with the students community for some kind of debates. So once I come out of this presentation, I'll be introducing these three tools. So I'll just come out of this. Then coming to Moodle. Moodle is a learning management system. So if I search for Moodle, hope you can see this. So Moodle is a learning free and open source learning management system. And Moodle stands for Modular Object Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. So that is the expansion of Moodle. Modular Object Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. So this is the expansion of Moodle. So this is a learning management system. And we can say this is the most popular learning management system available in this world, because the software is free. Once you want to implement Moodle, the only cost involved is your server cost, server setup cost, and other bandwidth, and for the software you don't have to pay anything. And on the other side, the proprietary side, we have Blackboard, which is a competitor of Moodle. And for Blackboard, we need to pay almost 9 crores if you want to implement such a learning management system in a university. And only big universities in the best and in developed countries are able to implement Blackboard. But Moodle is a free, comparable learning management system. Whatever we have in Blackboard, we also have in Moodle. So Moodle is a learning management system. And the primary duty or primary aim of any learning management system is to share resources among students and to create a virtual classroom where, just like a classroom in Moodle virtual classroom, we will also have the class members. If you have 30 students in your BSW classroom, then in Moodle also there will be 30 students. And instead of engaging them physically in a classroom, we will try to engage them virtually by using a virtual environment, virtual classroom. And just like what we do in a physical classroom, there also in Moodle also we will have attendance, we will give them assignments, we will give them examinations. They can also discuss among themselves using chat boxes, and we can share resources among the students in the form of videos, in the form of PowerPoint presentations, in the form of other documents. And this is a Moodle platform which we usually use for training teachers. From Marian College, especially during lockdown time, we conducted many training programs in Moodle and other ICT-enabled teaching learning tools. We are offering training programs in Moodle and other ICT-enabled teaching learning tools, and this is a Moodle platform which we used for training. And even from Tamil Nadu, we had many teachers taking this from Stella Maris, and we had many teachers taking our courses, online training courses. And this is just, I have logged into Moodle. So it is a web-based learning management application, and you can see this we are inside Moodle, and it will be just looking like any other website. And when I have just logged into Moodle, you can see different courses available in Moodle. So these are the different courses we offer courses in outcome-based education, Android application development, Moodle learning management system creation, then ICT tools for medical education. We offer courses on that, basic introduction to Moodle. So I'll just open a course on outcome-based education. So this just I have entered into the course. So you can see just like your syllabus, the course is divided into different sections. This section is a basic introduction, and the participants can also introduce. And you can see these are all participants introducing. So this is a platform where the students can meet each other, and they can also introduce, and they will be able to know from which institute they are. So if I click here, I can get more information from them. So this is a self-introductory session. And after that, just like our syllabus, we divide the sessions into different sections. So this is introductory section. Then we have a PO, PSO, and CO. Like that, we have another section. Then course outcomes and Bloom's taxonomy, another section. And each section, we will be having the resources. The videos will be there. The PowerPoint presentations will be there so that they can access the PowerPoint presentations. And we will have the assessment activities. It is a quiz, and it is a discussion forum. So the students can discuss each other. You can see this is a discussion forum where all the participants are discussing. So and most of our participants are from Tamil Nadu only. You may be seeing many names, Tamil names here. So this Bhuvaneshwari, Sumadi, so like this Malarviji. So these are all participants taking part in discussions. So if they want to raise some comments, if they want to raise some doubts, I can clarify, or some of other participants can clarify. So these are all discussions happening in the Moodle learning management system. So like this, we can have discussions. Then again, another section, there also we have the resources, assessment activities, discussion forums. And the beauty of Moodle is even the certificate can be automated. So here the teachers are joining and they are watching my videos. Then they undergo certain assessment activities. And here you can see, we can collect the feedback here. So feedback collection and analysis, it is done automatically, and we don't have to go for any analysis. Just clicking here, we will be seeing the analysis. So we don't have to go for any other feedback collection and analysis. So you can see the feedback submitted by the participants. So this way, we have everything required for managing a class inside a virtual environment in Moodle. So this is Moodle. And again, even issuing certificate, because our institutions, we may be offering some certificate programs, and it is a big headache for the departments to admit students and following the performance in various examinations and finally issuing the certificates for this kind of certificate value addition programs. But here, even the certificate issue is not my botheration. They watch videos. If they have some doubts, they may be raising this. Once in a while, I will be responding to the doubts, or some of the participants may be responding to the doubts. And if they meet certain criteria, like a certain scores in quizzes or assessment activity, finally print the certificate. And from here, the teacher can get a list of students who got the certificates, and documentation is also, this is a unique code given for the certificates. So this is how the Moodle courses are organized, and Moodle activities are managed. And again, the beauty of having a learning management system like Moodle is, suppose you want to use, you are using Moodle heavily, and you also want to have some online engagement with your students using a tool like Mentimeter. So suppose you have a presentation like this. You have a presentation like this. Then problem is it may be an old presentation. I logged in with a different account, which was not. So here we have the share link. Then in the share link, here is an option, embed live results. Then I'm just going to the Moodle. I'm just showing you the opportunities of Moodle. I'm just going to the Moodle. Here I add an activity. So this many activities or resources can be added in Moodle. So this all this, the purpose of all these activities in Moodle, if we have a session in Moodle, we can discuss. Otherwise, too many activities and components can be added in Moodle. So I'm just going for a label. Add. Here I go for an HTML editor. Just paste what I have received from my Mentimeter. And if I save and return to my course, the beauty is I don't have to go to Mentimeter. It will be that learning integration, that tool will be integrated into my Moodle. So this is called in technically this is called LTI. In learning management system, it is called LTI, learning tools interoperability. So this is a learning tool interoperability. If you have some other learning applications like Mentimeter or the Padlet, which I am about to show you, if you are using like that, the same functionality can be brought into Moodle, so that you don't have to use different tools. Everything can be integrated into your virtual classroom using Moodle. So this is, I can only, with this limited time period, I can only give you a basic introduction about Moodle. So this is how a Moodle platform will be looking like. So I'm just coming out of Moodle. This is Moodle. Now the next tool I would like to introduce is Padlet. Suppose you want to have an online debate in your classroom. You are taking an afternoon session like this. You are taking a virtual online class, and you want to have a debate. Of course, in Zoom and all, you can divide your students into different groups, and breakup rooms can be arranged in Zoom or the recent platform. 1 week before, one audio discussion platform. That name is not coming to my mind now. So such platforms are there, but this Padlet is if you want to have online debates and others also want to see how the discussions are happening, we can use Padlet. So please note down this. It is Padlet, Padlet.com, Padlet. I'll share this in that chat window. So Padlet. So in Padlet, what we can do is we can open a discussion forum or discussion platform, which will be looking like a wall, big wall. There, the students can paste their opinion. So you can have certain discussion topics, and the students can paste their opinion on that wall. So that I will give you, rather than talking about this, I will give you a hands-on experience on Padlet. So I'm just opening, I hope you can see this, opening a discussion here, the future of higher education. So this is one area. Some of you may be having this feeling, everything will come back to the old system. Others may be saying only e-learning will be surviving in the future. Or you can say e-learning will replace teachers. After the few years, there will not be any conventional teachers like this. All students will be moving towards e-learning platforms, and it will replace teachers. Or blended learning, a blend of e-learning and conventional teaching will be the best. So like that, you can have more areas for discussion like this. So this is something I have created in Padlet. I will share a link of this. So from here, I am taking the link. Or if I want to have a QR code, I can have a QR code also. Just I am getting the link. And this link I am going to share in my chat box. So please follow the link which I have provided in the chat box now. So now you will be able to take part in this discussion. You can just click on this plus button below each topic, so that you can also update, or you can also give your comments. Now you see the responses are coming. Now you see how the responses are coming. You see your responses are coming. Okay, then I'll show you how you can do this. Okay. Okay, so we'll stop this. I'll show you how you can create this. And this is not only for discussion. Suppose you are doing some group activities, and under each group you want your students to submit something. Then you can use a Padlet. It is not only text, you can also have attachments there. You might be seeing that when you type something, even attachments are possible. So suppose you have 4 or 5 groups in a class and you are asking them to work on something, and if you want to submit on group wise, this tool can be used very effectively. So when you try to type something, you can see even attachments are possible. So that way, this can be used for collecting group assignments also. Group wise, you can collect. So I'll show you how you can do this. So the tool is Padlet. So I'll just log out from here so that I will show you how it will be looking like for the first time. So the tool is Padlet.com. So I'll send you the link, Padlet.com. In the chat box, this link is there for creating a new. It is Padlet.com. And when you go to Padlet.com, first time, when you go to Padlet.com first time, just like your Mentimeter, you will have to log in using your Google. So there also you can go for Google authentication. You log in using Google, and once you log in using Google, these options will be there. So here you can go for make a Padlet option. So once you go for make a Padlet option, you can decide on the appearance. So how it will be, it is just, you can imagine like we are creating a virtual wall. There the students can write something and also they can paste something. So you can decide what should be the appearance. And the one I used was this shelf. So you just go for select, then you can have a Padlet like this. Then this heading you can decide, and number of columns you can just type here. So column, this is column number 1. Again, you can add one more column. Again, if you type here you can add one more column. Like that, you can have any number of columns, and also you can change the name by going through the settings. So here you can give the heading and name everything. And if you want to share this, here we have the option share. Then here you can copy the link to the clipboard so that you can share it just like what I did. Or you can have the get QR code, or this option, embed in your blog or your website. Then you select this, and if you paste it in Moodle, just like what I have shown in Mentimeter, it will be, the entire tool will be appearing in Moodle. So you don't have to go to Padlet or any other tool. The entire thing will be appearing in Moodle as a separate tool. So this is how we use. So just like Mentimeter, you can take another 5 minutes and please try this Mentimeter and see whether are you able to do this.
Sir, something called bookmarks came off in my screen.
Bookmarks?
Marks.
From Padlet?
Padlet. Instead of my distinguished Padlet, it's showing as bookmarks. Welcome to Padlet bookmarks.
So are you not seeing something like this?
Name a Padlet, join a Padlet, and gallery. Yes.
Make a Padlet is there.
Yeah, make a Padlet.
Please click on that.
Yes, I clicked.
Then
it's showing wall, stream, grid, all
yeah,
those.
that the style you want, you decide.
Start with a blank.
So I'll show you.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
So this is Vivian from MSSW.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So from what I saw in this, sir, is there a way to restrict the user authentication, sir? Because as far as I can see, if we allow this, there is a chance of anonymous responses to be posted in the Padlet or in.
It can be done in that settings.
Yes, sir. That's why I wanted to ask, sir.
Yeah, this is the screen that I have also
Yeah,
got.
ma'am, you select this is the appearance. So the one I selected is this shell. Just go for.
Select. Okay. Yeah.
Now you are into this. Now you can start typing.
Padlet.
So you can define the columns.
Okay.
How to sign out of Padlet, sir?
The right side there is a logout. Right top corner, your small photo will be appearing down there. You have the logout.
Okay, it's coming. Name, registration. How to log out, sir? Right side?
Top, you can see your photo appearing there.
Yes, sir.
Down there, there's a logout option.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then now we will move to Google Tools. Okay, so the Google Tools. I'm just going to my Google Drive. I hope you know how to access the drive and all. In Google Tool, what could be the tools I must be covering now? Shall I again have a Mentimeter then?
Google Classroom.
Google Classroom. Then you know how to create Google Forms and all.
Yes, yes.
Google Forms, Google Quiz,
Yes, yes.
Google Quiz also, you know. Okay, then Google Classroom. Here, once we go to this options in Google, you can see Google. Google Classroom. So I'm just opening this Google Classroom. So I'm into Google Classroom now. So in Google Classroom, here we have a plus button. Just by pressing this plus button, you can create a new class. Or if you have already a class and if you want to join a class, the students, if they want to join a class, they can use this. If you want to create a new class, you can create this. So just we are creating a class. So you give the names. So section, subject, and all those you can give. These are optional. So a new class is created. And here we have a stream. So this is the BSW class and all the communications happening. Suppose you are sending some messages to students, and if they are sending back some messages, all such communications will be appearing here. Then here we have classwork, people, and marks. So classwork means you can give them assignments and other activities. So I have just pressed on this tab classwork, and here you can go for create, and create, you can give them an assignment. If you click this, you will be able to create an assignment. It is just like creating a form in Google Tools. So you can create an assignment, a quiz you can create, a single question you can create, you can upload some materials. Then this is reusing. Some of these activities you have already given. If you want to reuse it as another name, you can use. So a topic means you can divide, just like Moodle, you can divide these entire class into different sections called topics. So this is for various class activities. And people, you can add teachers. So a class may be managed by more than one teacher. You can just by pressing here, you can add one more teacher. And here it is more, or it is less complex than Moodle, because here most of us may be having Google accounts and Gmail accounts. Those Gmail accounts will be used here, but the problem is you might have noticed that previously I was not able to access the class. It was my personal mail ID, and the one which I am using now, it is the Google Suite, where I have my official institutional ID. With that, I am creating this. So here, just by entering the email ID of the teacher, I can invite others as a teacher. And here I can invite students. So just by entering the names of the email IDs of my students, I can enter here so that an invitation will be sent to them. Or this is the link to join this class. Just by copying and sending them by email, just by clicking on that link, they will be able to join the class. And this is here by using this classwork, we'll be giving them assignments, quizzes and other activities. The marks obtained by the students of this class will be listed here once we have a assessment activities. This is how we manage Google Classroom. So the various activities, how to give a activity and how we can mark and all, I think we may need at least a half-day session for introducing this Google Classroom tools. But you can give a try. You can create a class just by pressing that plus button, and then you can give classworks like this just by clicking. So I will just show you how you can create an assignment. So I am just creating an assignment, give the title, assignment 1, instructions. If you want to give them some instructions, you can give. Then if you want to add some files, so this is giving us an attachment. Suppose you have a video or document to be attached to this assignment, so that after reading this or watching the video, if you are expecting your students to answer this, you can attach something here. So you can say, please video and answer questions. And then we have the create button in assignment. So this assignment can be designed as a Google Doc or slide or sheet or form. So if I select form, now just like creating a form, we are moving to this editable area. There you can give the title, first assignment or something. Then we can add questions and everything. So finally, you can save this so that the assignment creation is complete. So this is how we create assignments. So after creating that, now one assignment is created. Then you can add people like this. If once you have the list of the email IDs of students, you can simply invite your students. Then if you evaluate your assignments, it will be reflected in this marks. So this is a brief introduction to Google Classroom. Hope you will be able to at least give a try. Then other Google tools are Google Docs, Sheets and all, you may be knowing. Then this Google Keep is a very interesting tool where you can create notes which may be following you. So these are the notes created by me, because I am now working with my NAC accreditation. So every day I may have to prepare some notes to do notes. So I am creating all those to do notes, and just by typing here to do on 11/6. So like that, after that I can, or if you want to call somebody, I can create notes. All that notes will be available here, and it will be following us. So we don't have to worry where I have kept it and how to locate my notes. So this is a Google Keep. Then another interesting tool which may be useful for us is this photos. I hope you know. If your phone is linked with your Google account, even if you delete some of your phone, even if you delete your photos from your phone, Google will be taking care of you. It will be keeping a backup of your photos in this Google Photos, so that you can trace out it from here. Then one more Jamboard I will show you. Jamboard is if you want to draw something. This Jamboard I have opened. So I'm just clicking on this plus button here, so that it is just for drawing purpose. So I can just draw like this. So if you have a touch screen and if you want to explain something, then you can use this Jamboard, and this is a laser tool which just you can use for highlighting, and eraser and other things are there. This is Jamboard. So these are some of the Google tools which we can use. You can of course use some Google quiz activities. This can also be used as a reinforcement technique after taking a session for maybe 30 minutes. You just share the link of a Google quiz to your students, rather than, please don't take continuous lectures for 45 minutes, 1 hour like that. You have a session for maybe 20 minutes. And after that, you share a quiz, and the next moment you may be thinking, if they are copying, if they are discussing, if they are copying from textbook, what we'll do? Let them copy, let them discuss. But it can be used as a reinforcement tool, so that whatever you have delivered within this 20 minutes, if they are answering some of the very simple cues, don't take it as a very serious activity. You give some very simple questions. And if you use these kind of reinforcement techniques, the learning will be more. So use some Google quiz, take the link and share in your chat box, and they will all responding. So that kind of their involvements have to be ensured in our classroom sessions. Then only the students will be showing interest in our classes. Then I will show you some of the Prom extensions. So this there are some extensions available which can be added with Prom. So if I search for Prom attendance attendance. So these are called extensions for our Google Chrome browser. If you add this I have already added, so that meet attendance. So this meet attendance, if I add to Chrome, so what I have done is I just search for Prom attendance, then meet attendance for Google Meet. So if I select this, here you can see add to Chrome. So if I say add this to Chrome, add extension, now next time when I open Google Meet, the attendance option will be automatically enabled, and a list of participants along with by what time they joined, how long they stayed with you, the entire list will be prepared by Google Meet, and it can be downloaded. So like that, there are many such extensions which can be added to Chrome. So Chrome Translate. Chrome Translate extension. So this is, I already added this. I'm just removing this so that then this translate, if it is not added to your Chrome, you can just go for add to Chrome, add extension. And the beauty of this is, once this translate extension is added to your Chrome, all these added extensions you can see from here. So this is Google Meet attendance. So it is added to Chrome. Then this is instructions pop-up, another extension I have added, and this is save to keep. So this is whatever notes I take, it will be added. It is another Chrome extension I have added. So this node is in Google Meet. You can use this thumbs up and this kind of gestures. If I add this is duels. So duels, if I want to split, sometimes you may be coming across a situation like you would want to split your screen into two. In one side you want to do something, the other side you want to see something. So while typing and all, you sometimes you might be wondered if I can divide my screen so that one side I can see something, other side I can type something. If I want to split something your screen like that, you can use this. This is also an extension I have added. It is readily available. It is called DLS. So if I select this, depending on if this is the left side window will be small, right side you will be having bigger window. So if I want to do like that, you can, or if I want to have this. Now you see, I hope you can see that my entire screen is divided into 2 sections. So these 2 sections I can work. There is no problem. So this will be really useful when we are doing some kind of data entry work or mark verification or something. One side you can have a set of mark, other side you can have another thing where you can compare, you can work independently. So here, this if I want to open another. If I want to open my college website, this side I can open, that side it will be remaining like that. So this is a possibility. So this is dual-less extension I have added. Then translate, just we have added. So I just select this extension, Google Translate. So I go for this, translate this page. So suppose I translate to Tamil. So the beauty of this is, suppose you are coming up across a site which is developed in German or in Spanish or in Chinese or in Japanese, because in some Chinese universities, Japanese universities, their website will be in their mother tongue. And if you want to see, know what is the content of that website, you don't have to go in search of people who can translate. If you have this extension, any site can be translated like this. So now we can see our college website is appearing in Tamil. So I'm just going back to English. Now it is in English. Or if I want to translate this to Kannada, now it is appearing in Kannada. So like that, this is a really useful tool. I suppose you have some resources, material you have in other language in a website. If you want to translate this way, you can translate. So these are Google Chrome extensions. So this, you may be finding it useful, this dual. So its name is dual-less. So I'll show you how you can search for that. Google dual-less. So it is available here, dual-less. So it is already added. So if it is not added to our Chrome, it will be added to Chrome. Since I have already added, it is appearing as removed from Chrome. So this is how we use, there are a lot of Google tools like this, but these are some of the tools. Anybody can use this. And these forms and these Chrome extensions, Google Chrome extensions, we can use. And another thing is, you may be seeing QR codes. And if you can use QR code somewhere, suppose you have some reading materials, and if you can place a QR code, and by scanning that, students will love to go to the links. So if you want to create a QR code, so you can just search for QR code generation. So there is a QR code generator. And here, suppose we have my college, Marian College, Kuttikanam. So mariancollege.org. If I want to convert this to a QR code, just copy this. Whatever you want to convert to QR code, just you copy. So here I'm just copying our college address, pasting it here. Now the QR code is created, and if you copy this and if you paste it anywhere, just by reading this QR code, now you will be directed to Marian College Kuttikanam. You can just give a try. You just keep your mobile phone on the screen and try to scan this QR code. You will be directed to QR code. So creating QR codes are as simple as this. Anybody can create QR codes and we can respond. So these are very simple techniques which can be used in teaching learning process. And finally, I told in the beginning that I will show you how some of the tools which we are using along with Chinese University of Hong Kong and Hong Kong Baptist University. So here, just going to mck.ed2.mobi. So here I will share this link. So this is this system is called uReply. So this student engagement system developed by Chinese University of Hong Kong, which we have the rights to use. So I'm just logging in as a teacher at uReply system.
Sir, we are not able to hear you, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Now only we are able to hear. Previously, few seconds we didn't hear anything.
I think the
Maybe you
connection
can
was-
repeat. Yeah, yes, understood.
So I will reconnect. I have some.
Yes, sir.
So we are into the system now. And this is a student engagement system they have developed. And the beauty of the system is, usually the system is used when the students are physically available in the class. So they are permitted to sit with the mobile phones. But now we may be thinking if they are sitting in the class with the mobile phones, they will be going for WhatsApp or Facebook. But complete attention can be ensured by using this app, because we will be asking questions and they will be responding through their mobile phones. They will be raising hands. Then we can also go for a random selection. And initially, I was also having a feeling, once the students are there in the classroom, what is the beauty of this, or what is the role of this? But suppose we are back to that old conventional college days, and we are asking a question to our a class of 60, and only very few, maybe 2 or 3 students will be responding, and the most of the students, majority of the students who are sitting in the back and all, they never respond. They are not at all a part of our discussions. They may be in their own world. But if we are using this tool, we can insist the participants of all the students in the classroom. So we can say that all of you have to respond. And without inhibition also, they may be having, the backbenchers will be having some kind of inhibitions. And but without any inhibition, they can respond using technology. Because here, this system, we have a basic which can be used for asking a question to our participants. Multi-item means we can have a set of questions which can be asked. Activity means we can have different kinds of activities, a game-like environment, like group competition. We can divide the students into different groups. We can ask them to respond. Speed challenges are there, so that we can find out who is answering first. Level challenges, different levels of a question can be asked, and then next higher level of question. Pick random. Random means all students will be eagerly waiting. Then the system will randomly pick one student from the class and a notification will be sent to their mobile phone and he has to answer. Hand raising means the students can raise their hand through mobile phone. There's a hand raising option so that they can participate. And the beauty of this is previously we had something called Reply Go. So in Reply Go, what we do is we can bring the map of a particular location into this. So if so we can bring the map of, suppose I want to give in the beginning I told you our college is in a very beautiful location. Lot of very attractive places are there. The students would like to go and visit all those places. So that itself we will make it as a teaching with this system. And we can set questions in that map. So here, if I enter Marian, so this is Chinese University of Hong Kong. So Marian College Kutikana, its map will be appearing here. Then by using insert action point, we can insert questions into the college area or the nearby surroundings. And we can ask our students to join this and we can just send them outside. And sitting in front of a computer in my office, I'll be able to know where they are moving. Are they going somewhere else or they are moving according to our schedule? Everything you can watch. And once they reach at the action point, so this is an action point. So once they reach 10-meter vicinity of that action point, sometimes some questions will appear into their mobile phone, or if you are giving some resources, that resources will be appearing into their mobile phones. So that leisure work, it's around the campus can itself be made as a teaching learning activity. So I will just give you an idea about this just by using a basic activity. So I'll just go for a new session. Then using a question bank, I can use a question. So just this question. So the question is, Moodle was developed at. If you want to participate in this, either you can scan this QR code, or I will send this link, and you will be asked to enter a session code. That session number is 96. So I will send this. So there you will have it will ask you whether you are a student at MCK or a student at a teacher at MCK or student at MCK. You log in as a student at MCK. So it will ask you your a number and name. So you just give some dummy number and name, but the session code is very important. So you give the session code as 96. Session code 96. Now you can. So I have shared it. Session code is 96. Follow the link. You log in as student at MCK. Are you able to get that? You follow the link which I have given you in the chat box. Then it will ask you, are you a student at Marian College or a teacher at Marian College? You say student at Marian College. Then it will ask you the session code. You give the session code as 96. And then you will ask you your class number. You give some number like 1 or 2. Then your name. Yeah, I'm getting answers.
Link, sir.
Link is there in the chat box. Now I can see how the answers are coming. So this is the session information. This link I have shared using the chat box. Session number is 96. You join. Now see the results are coming. If you want to participate, the link is provided in the chat box. Session ID is 96. It will ask you session code. Session code is 96. Then you have to give a name and user ID. Okay, the results, if I go to results, participants results are this. And at the end, I'm just going to end this. If I end this, you can see the correct answer. The correct answer is A. The model is developed in Australia. Then after this, the beauty of this is we can have reports. So we can have a detailed report of activities. The students' performance and other thing we can see from here. So raw data, participant data, like this, we can have different reports, and it is downloaded as an Excel file, the reports. So by using these tools, we can also use it as an assessment activity, because here you can even get the grade and the responses from students. So it can be used even as an assessment activity. So with this, I will wind up and you guys will wind up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Here, if we have any doubts, we can clarify with the sir directly.
இந்தியாவில் கடந்த 24 மணி நேரத்தில் 94,000 Open, no one has any doubts. We don't have dumps found. I don't have a doubt. I would like to congratulate Dr. Binu. Today is for us teachers. Till now, we thought that PPT was the greatest ICT tool we had with us.
Okay,
Now
thank you,
it has
sir.
gone to the garbage bin. And here we have a huge basket. I would say like a Christmas hamper is brought in. Now it is for us teachers, all of you are young and talented. We'll have to take this as a challenge, use it. I found one useful thing which he said, where we can even track students, probably for social work teachers and others where field work is an integral part. You will know whether they've gone to the agency, what they're doing. So ICT will help us, enable us. I don't say it is as easy as you see. It may take some time, but like train the trainers, some of you who are more competent in ICT skills or computer skills, if you can understand this, I'm sure take help from Dr. Bino, the others can be trained. Either we perform or we'll perish. This is the order of the day. If Corona continues, in spite of, as he said, blessing in disguise, which is a very true statement, in spite of this, or I would say because of this, probably so much of useful learning is taking place. From my side, thank you, Dr. Bino. It was very useful and sharing. And I think it was capsules and capsules of vitamins. So it's going to take a long time for people to digest. It looked attractive, it looked colorful, but it's going to take time. And I'm sure this entire team of faculty from all over India, Pan-India or Pan-South India, not only from Madras School of Social Work, others, you can all utilize this. Emulate these healthy practices. Thank you. And others you can ask. Yes, instead of putting in the chat box, you can also talk.
So there's a question from Dr.
Yes,
Cynthia, and she has asked, can we increase the number of participants in Google Meet using G Suite account?
I will switch off my video. My bandwidth also has some problem. So previously, there was a difference. In G Suite, we had 250 participants and ordinary account 100. But now I hope they are limiting to 100 in both the ways. Whether it is G Suite or your personal Gmail, now the number of participants are limited to 100.
I hope Cynthia's question is clarified.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Cynthia is head of the botany division in All Saints College. Okay, others?
How did you integrate this Menti pamphlet in our regular timetable, sir? Because we have a structured timetable where we need to complete the portion and curriculum. So can you please give some tips on that? How did you integrate our, the institutes like Mentry or pamphlet or Kahoot in our regular working hours?
So all we have to admit that it is only a notion that the students are continuously listening to our lectures for 1 hour or 45 minutes. So they may be listening for 10-15 minutes. And after that, even if what we are doing, suppose I was not using all these kind of activities and suppose I was just starting lecturing and changing PowerPoints from the beginning to the end for 2 hours, how many of us teachers will be? Definitely, I can tell you that I may not be. I may be diverted to some other activities. So we cannot expect our students to have full attention for, even if we have to cover all the syllabus, even if we have to complete the syllabus, everything is there. But if you are continuously taking lectures for 45 minutes or 1 hour, definitely they will not be attending. I can guarantee. But instead of that, we need to have a planning. We have a session for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, introduce some topic, have a very small interaction with the students, ask them to respond. They will be eagerly responding and it will energize them also. If they are feeling sleepy, it will be energizing them. Then we continue our sessions. We don't have to wind up. We continue our sessions just by using the chat box and all. We can send some links, ask them to participate in that, continue. And also we need to, with only teachers are here, we need to admit that the students are not learning just because of us. They have many other sources for information. But we need to admit that we are only facilitators, we are only guides. If we can give them proper guidance, we are proper facilitators. If they can keep them motivated, the learning will happen. Because these students, they are way more informative, or they are more capable of finding out information from other sources by searching net. So we don't have to teach everything. We cannot say that only by teaching the students will be learning. That is the purpose of outcome-based education also. So what they will be demonstrating, are we facilitating something, are we doing something, so that the certain skills and abilities will be inculcated to them at the end. So that we must be giving them some chance for doing something in the classrooms, whether it is virtual or physical. That is my, that is my opinion on this.
So there is another question from Agnes. Do the students have to download app for some of these tools?
The tools which I have demonstrated, we don't have to have. Mentimeter, you don't have to. Then what Padlet, you don't have to. Then the Chinese university thing also, if some of your institutions are interested, they said for 1 year they can give user license for that software. And there also we don't have to have these are all web-based. But if we want to have Moodle, if you want to have a app interface, we have a Moodle app, so that once it is installed into your mobile phone, you don't have to log in all the time. It will be your personalized Moodle. So apps are also available for some of the tools. But the tools which I have demonstrated today, we don't have to use apps. These are all web-based.
Good evening, sir. I am Satyamurthy from Madras Social Work. In fact, indeed, a very good session we had. Almost, even though we have used certain tools like Google Meet and all, it's a great tools which we ICT enabled tools. I'm so happy that we had exercise. When I was trying, simultaneously I was having one more window and working with the other laptop, and I'm trying to do something parallel. It's a very beautiful tool, which will be very useful for us. Only one thing which I back of mind is going that what about the data security? And if it is going to be stored, everything, and also the privacy of a student. Sometimes when you trap, for example, there are a lot of confidentiality, privacy, which we will talk about, and how we can manage about the data security and the privacy of data as well as the individuals. When we, for example, as we know, when last app we are talking about the mapping and directing, helping the students about the field work, and in the field work. What about the privacy and sometimes the data security of the data?
Security and other issues, we cannot say none of the applications, even the banking applications. Day before yesterday, I got a call from one person saying that he will be able to intrude into even our controller of examinations computer system and will be able to change the marks, he was telling. So that way, we cannot prevent it. It is a reality that online, we need to say, suppose you you go to Chennai city, 20% of the people will be fraud, and 80% of the people may be dependable. But in online environment, we have to admit that 80% of the people are doing there, or they are there for doing some mischief or fraud. So we need to be very careful. So especially when we use Google Meet and Zoom, we need to ensure that we use the password facilities available there, passport available there. And in Padlet also, you can set up the mechanism, like you can ask the people to log in. So you need, in that setting, you can ensure that the people will be able to respond only after logging into the system. So that way we can manage. And then by using, that is one side of keeping security, and the other side of keeping security from our side also, that the uReply Go, which I have showed, that we are using as a project management tool for, because suppose we are sending our social work students to fields, they have to go to some remote locations, and sometimes even without going there, they may be saying, we went to that and we made the data collection, everything. But by using this, we keep an action point at that location. So they can answer that, they can ensure, they can respond to that only after going to that location. Only at that location, they will be able to enter. So that way, using these tools effectively, we can ensure security by using the facilities available there. Otherwise, to the worst side, none of the systems, including our banking systems, are not safe. We need to have, we need to follow all the security measures when we are online.
Yes, thank you, sir. Because I was worried about when we have data marks in the Google Meet and all, when we are thinking about internal is fine, but there are certain over the period of time, when the data is corrupted. For example, I was using one particular mail in 1994 till 2009. The UK mail, that time we had only UK. We never had this gmail.in and all. So I was started using mail from 1992, from 93, I think 93 till 2009. 2009 it was hacked. The entire information which was having that mail, that yahoo.co.uk was lost. But fortunately, what I did, I had a backup one more mail. I would be able to back up it and that, but the confidentiality in terms of the passwords and other thing, we need to be a little careful. Even though we change for the once in 3 months, as you sir said. So security in terms of it is, we have to be very careful about
so
it.
So it is we are responsible.
Yes,
that
yes,
we need
yes.
to. And
yes.
Sir, when you open the window, not only fresh air, even insects will come in.
Yes, sir.
See, what so there are more insects here than fresh air.
What I would like to say is that we have to be very careful when we choose the best what you want in the internet. It is not that everything we can log in, we can get into that. That will create a lot of issues. That's what I want
to and also, sir, we need to accept that in this competitive world governed by corporates, nothing is free. And if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. Whether it is Facebook, WhatsApp, or Google, or Gmail, because they are not doing it for social service. They are doing business. Google is one of the most profitable organization in the world. Facebook is another. So if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. That we need to admit. And if you want to be a product, please use. And if you don't want to be a product, please don't use.
This is what I would like to. I would like to hear from you, sir. Because being a computer science background, I know how this business is going on in terms of Googles and Facebook. But as I look at in terms of teaching, it's a great tool for us actually. As a teacher, I was looking at the positive side, a lot of positive feedback, a lot of input we can do. We were depending, as sir said, we were depending most on PowerPoints. Nowadays, we have very beautiful tools like Moodles and all. Google Meet itself is a great tool for us actually. We are using last 2 years almost Google Meet. It's a very useful tool for us. But now we will add on to the Padlet and the Moodle. That's a very beautiful. What I would like actually, as sir said, we have to be very careful in choosing which is the appropriate tools for us, and it will be need of the hour we have to use that. Thank you so much. Very beautiful, sir. I had a very good experience today. Thank you so much for your input, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Madam, this is
yes, sir.
This is Dr. Anand Gerard from Department of Social Work, Periyar Manimai Institute of Science and Technology. Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful presentation and the training which you have given. My question is to you is since past 2 days we have been talking more about outcome-based education, and we are all the institutions are now moving towards outcome-based education. And the things which you have presented today, the ICT tools and various ways of assessment and all these things, how this will be helpful for what to say, to analyze the assessment or the attainment of various POs or COs like that, how we can use these ICT tools to take it to the attainment level of the students, because we are giving assignment a lot of internal things, lot of external things, many things we are giving to the students. How we can relate this, or how we can take this as a document and make it as an attainment of various POs and COs. And by the by, I have been to Kutikanam and I have experienced your institution, sir. Thank you.
When it was, sir?
Some 7-8 years back, sir, for a SPSS training.
Okay, sir. Sir, this outcome-based education, first thing is we used to say in that area also we sometimes we conduct training programs. So when we try to measure the outcomes, usually the problem is with our outcomes. So we need to keep our outcomes measurable. The student must be able to demonstrate that, and the outcomes must be observable. So once we have such a observable, demonstratable, measurable outcomes, these activities can be given. Suppose we are giving a small quiz, or suppose we are asking them to prepare some chart, and we are asking them to post it on a Padlet. So suppose you are teaching history, which usually people find it very difficult to define the outcome. So if they are, if you are asking them to prepare a chart enlisting the contributions of Mughal Empire in India, and if suppose they are preparing an online chart, if it is first pasted to the Padlet, then we can say the outcome is attained. And if it is Moodle, it is very a kind of direct assessment, because when you give a Moodle assessment activity, you can define a set of competencies, and you can link these assessment activities with these competencies. And once that attainment, that assessment is successfully completed by the student, Moodle will automatically evaluate that competency is also attained by the student. So that way, assessment of outcomes or competencies is a kind of direct measurement in Moodle. Or if you plan activities by using this kind of tools, it can be measured even in online environment.
Thank you, sir. So it is possible to link with OBE.
Yeah, it depends on the activities we plan, sir. That needs a kind of planning, and we need to have some activities. Or suppose we are asking the students to prepare a presentation, a video presentation, demonstrating something. And if you are asking them to upload this to somewhere into your Google Drive or somewhere, and if you are asking them to share the link, then that link will be, or that video will be demonstrating the attainment of certain outcomes.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really a very informative and lively session. So as sir said earlier, we were just using PowerPoints and few videos and sometimes breakout rooms, and we thought that was ICT, but today we have learned how to use Mentimeter, a Padlet. So all these tools are really very interesting, and definitely that will increase our students' engagement. Thank you so much, sir. And now I invite Professor Gajendran to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everybody. And we have successfully completed 4 days of this 5-day FDP program. And in this occasion, I'm very happy to thank our beloved Professor Dr. Binu Thomas for being here with us and giving very good speech on new ICT-enabled tools for online teaching. Yes, of course, now we are a little bit familiar with Google tools, but I think your presentation on Moodle and Mentimeter and other Padlet, so other things will be useful for us to use it in our classroom, sir. Thank you very much for being with us and giving this wonderful talk today. I am thankful. I thank our beloved principal, Dr. Raja Samuel, for giving us this opportunity to organize this program. I also thank Dr. Joseph Injode, former director, Rajagiri College, so for being with us in organizing this program. I thank all the faculty members of MSSW, and I also thank all the faculty members from other colleges for attending this program. Thank you very much. We conclude this program today.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Vinu, sir, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.